This morning we're in Proverbs, and we're going to talk about money as a power. We're going to talk about the deception of money, and then we'll talk about the true treasure. Here we go. Proverbs 18:11 starts us off. The wealth of the rich is their fortified city. They imagine it a wall too high to scale. The wealth of the rich is their fortified city. They imagine it a wall too high to scale. A fortified city is a big deal in the ancient world. Means that you can protect stuff, right? I mean, one approach is to just bury it in the ground, and hope that nobody finds it. Another is to build a massive wall that's really hard to climb. Because if you've ever had a sibling where, like it's a dock or something and they can pull you up, they're in a vulnerable position when you have the high ground, right? You can just, go back in the water or whatever. That's the protection that a fortified city, a very high wall offers. And that's what wealth, at least it seems like, that's what wealth offers. Let's say you value your health, right? Well, if you have a sudden medical expense, wealth allows you to pay for it, to get the treatment that you want. Let's say you value comfort, AC and heat on all the time, the exact temperature and humidity that you want. Wealth, Tempur-Pedic mattresses, whatever. Okay, let's say you value friends, or you can throw parties and you can have people around you all the time. You can pay for a lot. But we've already mentioned that you can't pay to escape death. Wealth, consequently, in Proverbs, half the time it's like, this is a prize that you should pursue. And the other half, it's like, hey, don't trust it though. It doesn't offer ultimate protection. It's a security, but it's a false security. You imagine it's an unassailable wall, but wealth can be fleeting. Jesus says the proverb, the rich fool, in the New Testament, and I'll say a summary version of it. There's a guy, he's a farmer, and he does a great job one year. He has a record harvest, a bumper crop, and he pulls all of that, and he's like, what am I going to do with all this wealth? And so he builds these massive grain bins, and he puts the grain in the bins, and then God comes to him and says, you fool, this very night your life will be expected of you. What were you doing? And it's not that planning for business is bad. It's that if you only plan for business, your entire life is about business, then that's foolish, because you die one day. You don't do that. It's silly. It's silly. Your wealth isn't going to protect you from death. Simply in your life, you can do this kind of audit, if you will, an assessment of your spending. When you look at the things that you most value, and I would encourage you to just get a note card or get a piece of paper or get your phone app out, the notes on your phone app or whatever. Write down the things that you want most, and then write underneath it a prayer. God, please protect me from wanting this more than anything. God, we pray that you would help us to be a steward. You'd help me to be a steward. You'd help me to be a steward of what you've given. And we pray that. Remind yourself. Do that this week. What do you want most? Don't let it control your life. Money has a power, but it's limited.